Yeah, so let's start with the motivation. And visualize ourselves surrounded by all sentient beings, and then visualize the field of refuge in front. So sit comfortably on your seat. Scan through your body, release any tension, stress, or discomfort. And then focus on your mind or your breath. Focus on an object of meditation for a minute to generate some concentration. And using mindfulness to stay focused on the object of meditation and introspection to notice any distracting thoughts, perceptions, and let them go. And then visualize oneself surrounded by all sentient beings, by friends and family to your left, mother and father, beginning with your mother and father of this life, to your left and right, behind you, and then those whom we're most prone to become angry with directly in front, facing towards us, and then all the other sentient beings seated around, and then try to briefly meditate on equanimity, having equal concern for all of these beings. And then briefly meditate on loving kindness and compassion, wishing for them all to have well-being and happiness, and wishing for them to all be free from suffering. And then finally meditate on, briefly on immeasurable joy, wishing all sentient beings to have every happiness up to full enlightenment. And then try to conclude with bodhicitta, the intention that oneself quickly become fully enlightened in order to benefit all sentient beings, especially lead them to the state of Aryatara. And think for that purpose, that I'll engage in this Tara practice. So then we can go for refuge with these first lines from the glance meditation on the graduate path. I take refuge in the Holy Guru, essence of all Buddhas, original grantor of all holy teachings and Lord of all supreme beings. I take refuge in the Holy Guru, essence of all Buddhas, original grantor of all holy teachings and Lord of all supreme beings. I take refuge in the Holy Guru, essence of all Buddhas, original grantor of all holy teachings and Lord of all supreme beings. And then we meditate or recite, try to reflect on the rest of the Lamrim. Please, Guru Buddhas, bestow on me the ability to unify my mind with the Dharma and be successful in practicing Dharma in order to achieve the graduated path. May no hindrances occur while achieving this path. Please bless me to realize that I have received a perfect human rebirth, which is highly meaningful, for many reasons difficult to obtain, but perishable, transient, and fragile, decaying in the shortest moment because of its changeable nature. Thus, my death is definite, but its actual time is most indefinite. And after death, I am far more likely to be reborn in the lower suffering realms, having created infinitely more negative than positive karma in this life and all previous lives. Please bless me to comprehend how incredibly unendurable is the suffering of the lower realms, that I might take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha with all my heart, and realize the evolution of karma in all its profundity, that I might perform only virtuous actions and abandon all negative creations. Prayer of the practitioner of middling capability. By practicing in this way, I will be reborn in the upper realms, but will still have to experience unlimited samsaric suffering because of uncontrolled delusion and karma. Please bless me to realize the evolution of samsara from uncontrolled rebirth to death to rebirth, and to follow day and night the three higher trainings of the path: higher conduct, higher concentration, and higher wisdom, which are the main methods to release me from samsara. And then the prayer of the practitioner of the highest capability on the sutra path. But as each sentient being has been my mother, and as most of them are in extreme suffering, please bless me to bring success to all by renouncing the perfect happiness of self and practicing the Bodhisattva's deeds of the six perfections with the Bodhisattva's mind of exchanging self with others on the basis of the equanimity meditation. Thus shall I have no sorrow in experiencing the samsaric suffering of all other sentient beings for no matter how long, having trained my mind in the general path. Then the Vajrayana path. Please bless me to follow quickly the Vajrayana teachings by feeling sentient beings suffering, very unimaginably unbearable for even the shortest moment as my own, and to achieve the attainment of Shakyamuni Buddha immediately at this very moment by keeping my ordinations and the instructions of the Guru with the best and highest care in life for the sole purpose of enlightening all sentient beings. So reflect briefly on the Lamrim. Okay, and we continue with the visualization of the actual Tara practice. So visualize above the crown of one's head is a lotus and a moon disk. Upon these is the great treasury of compassion, Aryatara, mother of all enlightened beings, who is oneness with my kind root Guru. My Guru is seated. So we mainly visualize the Guru and their human, ordinary human aspect, and then at the Guru's and their one nature, thinking their one nature with Tara. So it's like Tara's appearing as the Guru. Yeah. And then at the Guru's heart is Tara, and then Tara's normal aspect. My Guru is seated in the full lotus position within a transparent sphere of rainbow-colored light, is pink in complexion, and wears saffron robes and a pandit's hat, so like monk's robes. and a pendant's yellow hat. His right hand is at his heart in the gesture of teaching the Dharma, and holds a vajra in the stem of a white lotus that blossoms beside his right ear. His left hand rests in his hip. It holds a bell and the stem of another white lotus that blossoms beside his left ear. At my guru's heart is Aryatara in female aspect, green in color and seated in the dancing posture within a rainbow bubble or a sphere of rainbow light. Her left leg is bent up and her right leg is slightly stretched out, partly stretched out and extended kind of down. Her left hand is at her heart in the mudra symbolizing the triple gem and holding the stem of a blue pali flower. Her right hand is extended over her right knee and is in the mudra of granting sublime realizations. She is beautifully adorned with jewel ornaments and scarves. At her three places bears the syllables Om and Hum, so that means at her forehead, her crown, at her throat, and at her heart. There's Om Hum. At her heart is a lotus and a moon seed, upon which stands a radiant green syllable Tum. Rays of green light radiate in all directions from the Tum and invoke all the enlightened beings of the 10 directions. They are all absorbed into Aryatara and become one. All right, so try to visualize clearly the guru in the ordinary aspect in full lotus posture, wearing the robes of a monk. And then at the guru's heart is Aryatara in this female aspect, with all the mudras and jewels, ornaments. And then the Om Hum, and then at Aryatara's heart, the lotus and moon seed upon upon which stands the green syllable Tum. And then finally, light rays radiate out from the Tum, invoking all the enlightened beings of the 10 directions who absorb into the Guru and Tara, becoming inseparably one with them. So now I make 4 different requesting prayers. Oh, no, sorry, first we make this one request, just to please remain. Please remain above my head until I receive full enlightenment. So it means please may we remain inseparable with the Guru. The Guru and Tara continue to guide us until we achieve full enlightenment. So make that request. And then we go for refuge. Again, I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly by my merit from giving and other perfections. May I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly by my merit from giving and other perfections. May I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened Dharma and the Supreme Assembly by my merit from giving and other perfections. May I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. And then the seventh in prayer. With my body, speech, and mind, I devoutly prostrate, so we can visualize prostrating with many bodies to Aryatara, the Guru. Prostrating and paying homage. And then the limb of offering. I offer all offerings, both real and imagined. So briefly visualize making extensive offerings of all things, pleasing to the five senses, as well as one's body, possessions, and roots of merit. And confession, all sins and offenses amassed from beginningless time, I confess. So especially try to generate the four powers. The power of reliance is refuge and bodhicitta. Here, mainly the power of regret, thinking of negative actions we've created in this life or past lives, and recognizing the fault in those, generating regret. And then the rest of the practice is the power of remedy. And then also we can generate the power of restraint, intending not to do those actions again in the future. And then rejoicing. I rejoice in all virtuous actions of holy and ordinary beings. And then the last two requests. O Gurus and Buddhas, please remain until samsara ends and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. All my virtues and those of all others I dedicate to the great enlightenment. Dalai offering. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as the Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. The objects of my attachment, aversion, and ignorance, friends, enemies, and strangers, and my body, wealth, and enjoyments, without any sense of loss, I offer this collection. Please accept it with pleasure and bless me with freedom from the three poisons. So imagine the Guru receives the mandala offering. Aryatara receives the mandala offering. They're very pleased. And then we make these four requests to bless our body, speech, and mind, that they become one with Tara's body, speech, and mind. Please bless me to purify all obscurations or non-virtues of my body, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. So make a request from your heart. And then visualize that in response, a white light emanates from the Om at Aryatara's brow and curves in an arc to enter my brow. My body is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. So imagine you're by this white light coming from the Guru and Aryatara's brow, entering your own brow. Your body is completely filled with this very blissful white light, which is the nature of wisdom, realizing emptiness, and great compassion. And it eliminates any obscurations, discomfort, suffering, and causes of suffering of the body. And your body becomes one in essence with Aryatara's enlightened body. And then the second request to bless our speech. Please bless me to purify all obscurations of my speech, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. Red light emanates from the Ah at Aryatara's throat and curves in an arc to enter my throat. My speech is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. And then the third request, please bless me to purify all obscurations of my mind so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. Blue light emanates from the home at Aryatara's heart and curves in an arc to enter my heart. My mind is purified of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. And please bless me to purify all delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience, so that my body, speech, and mind will become one with Guru Tara's holy body, speech, and mind. Now, three colored light beams emanate simultaneously from the Om, Ah, and Hum syllables, curving at Tara's brow, throat, and heart, curving in an arc and entering my three places, so my brow, my throat, and my heart, completely purifying all my delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience. My body, speech, and mind become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind. And then my root Guru dissolves into Aryatara. So remember, Aryatara is at the root Guru's heart. So the root Guru dissolves from the outside, just like the residue from, if one breathes on a mirror, how it evaporates from the outer edges towards the center. So like that, the root Guru dissolves into light and dissolves into Aryatara. And Aryatara melts into green light. And then this green light at the crown of my head flows down into oneself. Instantly, one's wrong conceptions that I and all other phenomena are self-existent, so inherently existent, together with my dualistic mind and its views, seeing the self and others as inherently separate, disappear, becoming completely empty. Not even a trace of them remains. Concentrate one pointedly in this empty state with the wisdom that is indistinguishably one from Guru Tara's blissful omniscient mind. Right? So try to generate whatever understanding of emptiness or dependent arising, or at least impermanence of all compounded phenomena that you have. And think how the Guru Aryatara realizes this ultimate nature of all phenomena, and think that your mind becomes completely merged with that. So then think everything dissolves into emptiness. Oneself, the environment, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all sentient beings, all dissolve into like empty space, the sphere of emptiness. And then kind of think within this sphere of emptiness, it's pervaded by great compassion and bodhicitta, the wish to benefit all sentient beings. So try to think that a kind of mind, which is a unification of great compassion and wisdom, realizing emptiness, that mind then arises as, so out of emptiness, my wisdom manifests instantly as Aryatara's holy body, seated upon a lotus and moon cushion. And my heart is another lotus and moon, upon which in the center stands the syllable tam, surrounded in a clockwise direction by the syllables of the mantra Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. So try to visualize that briefly. Actually, this is the main part of the practice. When we visualize out of emptiness, wisdom and compassion arise as Aryatara. So the main practice is to clearly visualize, try to maintain clearly the visualization of Aryatara with the lotus and moon seed at her heart and the mantra, letters of the mantra around the edge of the moon disk, with the recognition that Tara is in essence wisdom realizing emptiness and great compassion, perfectly unified. So just try to rest your mind in that. Usually we spend a few minutes just scanning through the visualization, going from the very top of Tara's crown down to her face, eyes, neck, shoulders, hands, her torso, abdomen, legs, and so forth, down to the bottom of her feet, and then back up, just filling in some of the details, whatever details we can visualize. And then once we've scanned through for a couple minutes like that, then we just pause. So don't stop scanning, whatever appears, whatever aspect of Tara appears, then we just focus single-pointedly on that without doing any further kind of analysis for a couple minutes, and try to just absorb the mind and then generate, just try to absorb the mind in that full awareness of the appearance of Tara, and Tara being one essence with our Guru, and especially one essence, one entity with the wisdom, realizing emptiness and great compassion for all sentient beings. So the Tam and the mantra are manifestations of Guru Tara's holy mind, with which my mind is totally united. So especially focus on the syllable Tam and the mantra garland at Tara's heart. And green light radiates from all the letters of the mantra, spreading in every direction. It purifies the negative karma, gross delusions, and subtle obscurations to omniscience of all sentient beings. So here we visualize, visualize light rays going out from the mantra, purifying negative karmas, gross delusions, and subtle obscurations to omniscience of all sentient beings seated around us. And together with that, we recite the mantra. We recite a few malas of the Tara mantra. Okay. Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. 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 Om Tare Tutare. Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. And the next visualization is making offerings. Again, light radiates, bearing manifold offerings to the 6 transcendental senses of all the Buddhas and the sentient beings who have become Tara. So visualize around you all sentient beings who become Tara, and then make visualize from the letters of the mantra, and light rays radiate out, becoming offerings for all the Buddhas and all sentient beings who have become Tara. Om Tara Tutara Tara Swaha, Om Tara Tutara Tara Swaha, Tara Tutara Tara Swaha. And then the third visualization. The enlightened beings are extremely pleased by the offerings and shower down the superlative qualities of Buddha Tara's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind, omniscient wisdom, supreme power, and infinite compassion, and so forth, in the form of a great shower of light rays. As I recite the mantra, I absorb and am blessed by this rain of light rays. Right. So imagine the Buddhas, all the an aspect of Aryatara, extremely pleased by our practice and offerings, and they rain down a shower of light rays, which are in essence all of their enlightened qualities, and they absorb into oneself and bless oneself. So we'll do another 3 malas. Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha, Om Tare Tutare Swaha, Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. And then the dedication. May I quickly become Guru Aryatara and lead each and every sentient being into her enlightened state because of these merits, or by the force of these merits. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow. And may that which has arisen not diminish but increase more and more. So I think especially all sentient beings have been purified of every form of suffering, especially the COVID-19 pandemic. I think that all the causes to quickly bring an end to the pandemic and all the suffering involved, all the suffering experienced by various sentient beings because of the pandemic and global warming and other problems, afflictive emotions and so forth. And their causes to bring an end to these quickly manifest, quickly come to be. And try to think very strongly oneself and all sentient beings are transformed into Aryatara, and the environment everywhere is transformed into the pure land of Aryatara. And then all of this dissolves into emptiness. And then recognizing how oneself, the one who's dedicating the merits that are being dedicated, and the action of dedicating, as well as the objects towards which we're dedicating, are all empty of existing from their own side. With the mindfulness of that, and we make these dedications. So first, for the long and stable life of all of our holy gurus, we would like to dedicate for the long life, good health, and fulfillment of the holy wishes of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Kadantri Rinpoche, Losam Tenzin, Sargyang, Senchok Rinpoche, Ken Rinpoche, Geshe Chun, Kamsa Rinpoche, and others, into the long and healthy lives of all of our Dharma teachers, Geshe Tenle, Geshe Sharab, Geshe Tenzin Dorji, Geshe Dorji Damdo, Geshe Tenzin Zopa, Venerable Sangye Kadro, Venerable Olivia Rossi, and others. And then, and for the quick enlightenment of all of our, and the fulfillment of all the wishes of all the benefactors of Root Institute. And then especially for people with health issues, Maria Duenas, Lisette, Alham Shirali, Anna Rosengren, Venerable Kunga Senge, Lucas Rodriguez, Anna Sofia Ortega, Mano Hargil, Saraj Gujral, Tulasi Ram's wife, the monks of Namgyal Monastery, and others, all the others on our list. And then, okay, so those who recently passed away, may all sentient beings have recently passed away, may they quickly take a precious human rebirth, a rebirth in a pure land, and meet with their spiritual teachers and spiritual friends, and supportive conditions, especially on Analea, Gabriel Zaisamar, Venerable Losam Sultram, Indrajit Kaur, Ravi, Dakarwani, Ursula Menzies Hari, and others. And then for all Dharma projects, especially Root Institute for Wisdom Culture, Tushita Meditation Center, Tushita Mahayana Meditation Center, I think that's the one in Delhi. Tushita Meditation Center is in Dharamsala. Sarai Mahal Shakyamuni Buddha Clinic in Bodh Gaya, Maitri Project, Maitreya School in Bodh Gaya, Chopra Swimming Center in Bangalore, and all the FPMT projects and centers in India and other countries of the world, and all Dharma centers, especially the three great seats, monasteries and nunneries, Dharma organizations and practitioners everywhere, and they have all supportive conditions to flourish, and all beings quickly develop realizations of all the stages of the path to enlightenment. And then bring to mind any of the prayers you'd like to make. So may all those your prayers be fulfilled in accordance with your wish. And in short, may all sentient beings be enlightened quickly.